guys, it's Deidre from our Upcycled Life and welcome to my channel. If you like thrifting and DIYs and repurposing, you've come to the right place and we'd love to have you follow along. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any great content. And we got Tina having a nap here today. She's nice and cozy. Today's tutorial is a little bit longer than my normal ones, but there's quite a few steps to this. So I wanted to make sure that I was going through all the steps so you can make one for yourself at home. Everything was from the dollar store, and I took napkins and fused it to paper, made it into a gift bag, and then I made a cute little ornament all for Valentine's Day, so you can put a little Valentine's Day gift in it to give away. So today I'm going to do the step-by-step tutorial so you can make one for yourself. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this is everything that you'll need for this project. You're going to need a little piece of scrap cardboard, some glue, some napkins. These ones are Valentine's theme, a beautiful gold heart. That's what I'm going to use for the outside of my bag and my ornament. And you need a little bit of twine and some paper. And these are ornaments from the dollar store. I'm going to use the heart. You need some cling wrap. And you need an iron. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to take all the plies of the napkin apart. These were 3 ply, so I've taken them all off and now I just have the top layer with the hearts on it. And the paper that I'm going to use to make the bag and adhere the napkin to was actually the packing paper. I had bought a flower pot at the dollar store and they wrapped it in this paper to send me home with it. So I'm going to reuse it and make it into a bag. You want to lay your napkin nice and flat on it and then cut it out to size. You can make these bags with any type of paper. I've seen them done in newspaper. I've seen them done with gift wrap. I just wanted to make a Valentine's theme one with these napkins, and I thought it would be really cute to fuse the napkin onto the paper and then make it into a bag. Now comes the magic part. You're going to use the cling wrap and you want to tear off a piece just a little bit bigger than the napkin. You want the cling wrap to just go over the edges of the napkin just a little bit because when you heat it, it does shrink. So just like 1/4 of an inch all the way around the napkin. And this sheet wasn't quite long enough to fit onto the napkin, so I'm just going to tear off a little bit and place it at the end of the napkin. And it doesn't matter if you overlap the cling wrap. When you iron it, it will all flatten out. Now I'm just going to take the packing paper that's going to be the base of the gift bag and just iron it out flat and get all of the wrinkles out of it. I'm putting it between 2 pieces of parchment paper and I'm going to iron it flat with my iron on the setting 6 with no steam. You don't want any steam to get through the parchment paper or onto the paper that you're going to be working with. Now you're going to get the cling wrap and lay it on top of that piece of paper and get it as flat as you can and just over the corners of the paper about 1/4 inch all the way around. Okay, and now we're ready to put the napkin on. You want to place it on top of that other piece of paper, have it nice and squared on there, flatten out all the little wrinkles, and then you're going to put the parchment paper on top, and we're ready to fuse it together. Now when you start to iron this together, the cling wrap will melt and your two papers will fuse together. I have my iron set at 6 and no steam. And you're just going to take your time, and in between those two pieces of parchment paper, you're just going to iron it back and forth and let that plastic cling wrap melt to fuse those two papers together. I like to, about halfway through, when I think it's halfway done, to take the top piece of parchment paper off and just check it and make sure that all the corners and all the edges are fusing. Okay, it's all fused, and there's little bits of the cling wrap around the edges, and I'm just going to clean those up with a pair of scissors. And just to make sure that it has completely bonded, I'm just going to give it one last iron after I cut all the little pieces off around the edges, and it will be all ready to make into our gift bag. Okay, and now we're ready to make the gift bag. Now I learned how to make these from a YouTube video by a girl named Seed Lemon. I'm going to put a link to that video down in the description, and you can go after you watch this video and watch hers, and she has a really in-depth video of all the step-by-steps that are so easy to follow for you to create one of these yourselves. So I'm just going to show you here just the steps that I'm doing, and watch hers and you can get a more in-depth tutorial. So I'm just going to let you watch for a minute while I put this bag together. Now I'm using my Gorilla Glue to put this bag together. You could use your hot glue gun, or you could use a glue stick. All will work perfect. Okay, now we're ready to put the handles on. I'm going to use 2 pieces of twine, so I'm just measured them up to see what length I wanted them, and then I'm going to take my scissors and just punch 2 holes in either side to string that twine through. Now I'm going to measure a piece of cardboard for the base of the bag to make it sturdy. You're just going to open up the bag and flatten it out and put that piece of cardboard right in the bottom, and it'll make it nice and sturdy. Now I'm going to take my wooden heart that I got at the dollar store and I'm going to paint it gold to match the gold heart on the bag. I'm using a gold acrylic paint from the dollar store. Now the same method that we used to fuse the 2 papers together, I'm going to use that same method on the wooden heart and the napkin. I'm going to cut the one heart out of the napkin because it's almost the same size as the wooden heart. And now you're going to take a piece of cling wrap and just cut it around the outside of the wooden heart and just leaving a little bit on the outside because it does shrink when you heat it and you want a little bit bigger than the actual heart size. Now you're going to get your parchment paper and put the heart down with the cling wrap on top, and then you're going to place the napkin on top of that heart, and you just want to make sure that you have it centered and exactly where you want it. And now you're going to put another piece of parchment paper on top, take the iron, and now you're going to bond the napkin to the wooden heart. About halfway through, I like to take the parchment paper off and just check it, make sure it's fusing all along the edges and there's no loose pieces that need to be heated some more. I'm just going to do it for another little second and make sure it's bonded really well. Okay, and be careful when you've just ironed this. It is really hot, so I'm just going to wave it to cool it down, and then I'm going to take my sanding block and I'm just going to sand all along the edges, and as you do that, it will sand that napkin off the edges and leave a really nice clean edge. I'm going to drill a little hole in the corner to put some twine through it to tie it onto the bag. Now to seal up the heart that we made, I'm going to put a coat of the matte Mod Podge on top. Now I'm going to make a cute little ornament to hang from the bag. I'm going to use one of these tassels that I made with twine from the dollar store, and these little beads I also got from the dollar store. I'm going to use them as embellishments and thread them through the tassel and then thread on the heart. I have a full tutorial of how to make these tassels. I'll put a link below in the description. They're so simple to make, but there's a few tips and tricks that I have that might help you out to make the perfect tassel. Now I've left the back of the heart blank, so you can use a marker and write a little message to the person that you're giving the gift to. And I'm just going to tie it onto the handle with the twine that was left over on the tassel. And then just take your scissors and cut off the long ends. Now we're ready to put the gift together. This is a little upcycled glass jar that I made, and I put some sprigs of greenery from the dollar store in it, and I'm just going to place it in the bag and then put the greenery in it and make sure it sits really nice in there. I'll put a link below of how I make these little jars. They're really simple and they do make fabulous gifts. And I love to use the napkins as tissue paper. So I take them apart, the 3 plies, and I just kind of nestle them in the bag. And I like to use the white ones in between too. They look really nice, contrast just the plain white. And finish it off with a little heart on the other side. And there you have a completely original, all from the dollar store, handmade gift bag. And who wouldn't love to receive this with a little gift in it? I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial and have inspired you to make your own gift bag. Thanks for watching and have a great day.